Welcome to another edition of Centerfield. I'm your host, Garrett Southwick.
And I'm your host, Ashleah Grayback. For today's show, we'll be talking about boys basketball, girls basketball, and wrestling from during the break and the games this week.
During the break, both the boys and girls basketball teams had several games. For boys, they played in the Whitney Christmas Tournament, and they won all of their matches.
On to the girls basketball team. They played Mariloma High School and won 39-35. Afterwards, the girls went on to play in the Jan Vitale tournament against Ponderosa. Unfortunately, they lost 40-64. Later, they went up against South Tahoe, winning 67-36, and Golden Sierra 54-27. Then on January 2nd, they went up against Whitney. They won 25-58.
The wrestling team played in the Granite Bay tournament last week. We have Max Kakanov reporting.
Over break, the Center High School wrestling team competed at the 12th Annual Grizzly Invitational. The lineup for the team was Eric Akebo, Isaiah Wright, Solomon Rusley, Brandon Meyer, Jacob Huston, Matthew Prindle, Craig Fisher, Billy Caves, Garrett Rose, Jake Forsberg, Dominic Lafazier, Kimba Johnson, Cody Setber, and Daniel Gusev. Wrestling is a unique sport because it is an individual as well as a team competition. Individual matches are combined to make a team score. The Cougars' record for this tournament was 3 wins and 2 losses. The wins were against Golden Valley, Rio Linda, and Atwater. The 2 losses were against Roseville and Lincoln, 2 of the toughest schools at the tournament. Some wrestlers that did really well were Brandon Meyer with a spectacular pin, Dominic Lafaze with his head and arm and then a pin, Kimba Johnson with a pin, and Garrett Rose with his other pin. Each of these wrestlers were 4-1. Billy Caves and Daniel Gusev were undefeated at this tournament. Today, our wrestling team competes at a tournament in Reading. We'll have more of that on the next show.
Thanks, Max. On to sports of this week. The boys basketball team went up against Dixon on Tuesday. Chad Haysbert scored 21 points, Elliot Harold had the most assists, and Andre Martinez had the most steals. The game ended with the boys winning 68-53.
On to the girls basketball team. Daniel Fawcett reports on the game against Dixon.
The Lady Cougars went up against the Dixon Rams. In the first quarter, a player on the other team had been injured. On to the points, our Lady Cougars had scored 12 while the other team had scored 15. On to the second quarter, our team had scored another 10 points while the other team had scored 14 points. After halftime, both teams scored 10 for the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, the game ended with a score of 41-46, making this a loss for our Lady Cougars.
Thanks, Daniel. The wrestling team has a 2-day tournament starting today at North Valley.
If you have any pictures, videos, or information you would like on the show, please email us at centerfield2010@gmail.com.
Well, that's all for this show. See you next time on Centerfield, your weekly sports show.